Alright guys, let's go ahead and run through the NATO and US setup. So go ahead and grab your card so you can follow along. So the first thing we start with is non-US, non-Polish, non-Baltic ground units and SOF markers. So first we're going to set aside the HQ, attack helicopters, and SOF markers. So you can see, whoops, let me move over here. There's all those SOF and attack helicopters and HQs set aside. And then, since this is a strategic surprise scenario, I'm going to place German, French, Canadian, UK Commando, and Dutch battalions, the Italian 66 Friuli, SER Friuli, and 4 Genoa Friuli into an opaque container because I'm going to end up drawing that out. So it's important to note, I've got them set aside here. Don't put the UK para battalions in there because they're RRC. They don't go in the strategic surprise scenario. Just the regular commando battalions do. So we'll throw all those in there. So this kind of simulates the NATO Enhanced Protection Force. If you can see, go back here. Let's see. Randomly draw 2 of them, and then I'm going to roll a die for each of the units chosen and place it per that die roll. Notice right below that chart, though, it says the player may make all the rolls before placing any of the units. So I get to know kind of where they're going to end up before I do anything. So let's go ahead and let's draw 2 units here. So I've got the Princess Pats. I have it on good authority. They don't like that. Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry. And Jaeger 291. Alright, so then I'm going to go ahead and roll a die. That is a 5, which is any hex in Poland for the Princess Patricia. And a 2, which is also any hex in Poland. So that's pretty good. We'll just put them over here on the operational map. Come back here. So then it says add all the other, not the US, Polish, or Baltic, non-HQ ground units, attack helicopters, and SOF right into that thing. So you can see them all in there. We'll take all these guys, non-HQ, right? Make sure that's what it actually says. Yep. Non-HQ ground units, attack helicopters, and SOF markers. So the HQs just get set aside. They come on when some of their constituent units come on. But all these SOF markers go in here. All these attack helicopters. And all these stacks of NATO dudes. And once the NATO Article 5 die roll gets made, then we'll start randomly drawing some ground forces. And they'll come on. So we'll put that out to the side. Alright, so what's next? Baltic Air Policing. So I need to roll die and figure out who's doing Baltic Air Policing. 9. Well, that's the US. So we would pull a US unit, as they're all still over here. And I think my Wild Weasel is going to be pretty important. So I'm going to take another one of those. Stick that in the ready box. Alright. Then it says place all the German, UK, and French, but not the Rafale M's, that's the naval variant, in an opaque container. Randomly choose 9 and put them in the NATO basing box. So you can see I have them all kind of just piled up here. I did that in case I had to pull one of them for the Baltic Air Policing. I'm going to throw these all in here. Oh, I'm sorry. German and UK and French. Not the rest of those guys. So I'll have to kind of pick and choose here. Make sure I'm grabbing the right ones. Blue for French. There's German. We're going to draw out 9 of those guys. And they're just going to go straight into the ready box. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. So you can see we've got a couple of UK Typhoons, a couple of UK Tornadoes, German Typhoon, 2 German Typhoons, 2 French Rafales, and a French Mirage. pretty good air superiority packages with a couple of strike and close combat, so we'll be pretty good there. And then put the rest of those air units right into that opaque container. So there we go. They will become draws again after the Article 5 entry die roll is made. Put that little container off to the side. Alright, so NATO naval units, they usually arrive by reinforcement schedule. If I had pulled a UK commando from up here, then I would have gotten that amp. But I didn't, so we'll just move on. So US Army setup, place the 2nd ACR in Germany. Hey look, there he is. Randomly draw one of the US 7788 BCTs. Alright. Armored Brigade combat teams. Here you go. They're all stacked right here. Throw those in a cup. Kind of shake that up a little bit. See that? 1/3 of the 4th. There you go. The rest of these guys will end up coming out of here. So I'm going to roll a die for where he ends up. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to grab... Well, I'll grab that later. They get one of the Apaches from that same division. Shows up as well. 9... any hex in Poland or any Baltic country. So I think I'm just going to put those with the other 2 guys we had earlier. And Poland's going to get some good reinforcements. Alright, so U.S. Air Force. Set up all B-1, B-2, and B-52 as follows. Strategic surprise in the USA flown box. So as you can see, I've already got them sitting there. Keep reading down. Oh, place 1 F-16 DJ in the NATO ready box. It's actually a CJ. That's a misprint on the card. There's 2 of those in there because I remember I drew one as part of the air policing mission. So on the U.S. Navy, strategic surprise, 1 CVN-BG, 1 carrier air wing, and 1 amp. So you can see I've got my CVN-BG and my amp there. Over here I've got my carrier air wing. Notice I put the optional F-35 on there already. I paid for earlier. And that's pretty much it. And the U.S. Marine Corps, strategic surprise, 22nd MAU, 1, 2, and 3, 2 infantry, and 2 are recon. And you can see them sitting underneath that amp in the North Sea. That's pretty much it for the NATO and US setup. Hope this helps, guys.